Hello students, welcome to EPG Parshala. I am Dr. Savita from Maharaja Agrasen University, Baddi, Himachal Pradesh. Today we are going to discuss about a module Theories of Entrepreneurship under paper Entrepreneurship Development and Project Management. After completing this module, you will be able to understand the concept of entrepreneurship theories, the historical perspective of theories, and the different theories propounded. For scientists, theory means relationship between facts. Entrepreneurship has been defined differently by different writers and thinkers. Various authors have developed various theories on entrepreneurship and popularized the concept among the common people. The concept of entrepreneurship is as old as civilization, while the theories of entrepreneurship has evolved from over a period of more than 2 centuries. The theories of entrepreneurship can be explained from Economist, Psychologist, and Socialistic viewpoint, which are developed over a period of time. And now let's discuss historical perspective. In early 17th century, Richard Cantillon, an economist who is originally called a developer of entrepreneurship, coined the term entrepreneur, and in late 17th century it was defined that entrepreneur bear the risk, survives and owns the factor of production. Later in 1803, JBC proposed that profits earned by the entrepreneur are different from the profit earned by the capital owner and thus differentiated between both. Later, in 18th century, distinction was further made clear between those who supply funds and earn interest and the one who earn from entrepreneurial activities. In 1934, Joseph Schumpeter defines entrepreneur as an innovator, and later in 1964, Peter Drucker defined the entrepreneur as the one who maximizes opportunities. In 20th century, as technology improves and globalizations take place, it further stated that entrepreneurs not only has to make profits but also has to tap new markets, develop new products and processes. Thus, entrepreneurship has taken new meaning in this century and a lot more has to be added. Different perspective on the emergence of entrepreneurship. The concept of entrepreneurship is old back and has come through number of years with major changes over time. But the concept of entrepreneurship is not clear and has become complex. Over the years, different thinkers have interpreted the concept according to their perception and environment. On the basis of that, entrepreneurship has divided into 5 stages. Stage 1. The concept of entrepreneurship was unclear. Entrepreneurs were more considered as adventurers. In stage 2, entrepreneurship was considered as the speculative activity. Stage 3. It was when entrepreneur was considered as the protector of the resources. At 4th stage, entrepreneurs were more leaned toward the innovation and creativity. Stage 5, entrepreneurship became an act of high visionary leaders and high achievers. There are different opinions on the emergence of entrepreneurship, which can be classified as follow: Economist view, Socialist view, and Psychologist view. Economist view. Entrepreneurship has been a topic of interest to the economists since 17th century, and term entrepreneur was first coined by Richard Cantillon and was popularized by J.S. Mill in England. According to the economists, favorable economic conditions are the main motivators for the entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs like to work in the situations which are positive for the economic growth. G.F. Papanek and J.R. Harris were the firm believer of this theory and strongly considered economic incentives as the main force of entrepreneurial activities. Lack of entrepreneurship can be because of market imperfections and incompetent market conditions. Sociologist's view. Social system has direct or indirect effect on the entrepreneurship. The power of customs, culture, values, religion, and rigidity has a significant impact on the entrepreneurs and thus help in creativity and exposure. Researchers believe that entrepreneurship is most likely to grow under social values and cultural values. Role expectations are accountable for the growth of entrepreneurship in the country. Max Weber, Hoslitz, and Cochran have propounded sociological theories. According to Max Weber, religious belief generates the drive for entrepreneurship by producing specific value orientations and thus chasing opportunities and the accumulation of assets. According to Cochran, entrepreneurs are the role model of the society and develop the solution for their problems. Individual's performance depends on his attitude toward his occupation and understanding of the occupational requirement of the job. According to Stokes, socio-cultural values guide economic deed. He put forward that personal and social opportunity and the existence of the necessary psychological distributions may be considered as situations for an individual's progress in industrial entrepreneurship. Hoslitz proposed that culturally marginal groups encourage entrepreneurship and economic development. Such groups, because of their unclear position, are noticeably suited to make innovative change and thereby expand authentic innovations. Psychologists' view. Different psychologists have given different psychological theories. Joseph Schumpeter, McClelland, Hagen, and Kunkel are the few names among them. According to them, psychological aspects have significant impact on the entrepreneurship development. According to Schumpeter, entrepreneurs are motivated by the will to power and will to conquer. According to McClelland, high need for achievement is the prime drive for the entrepreneurship. People who have high achievement need can work better and they give their best to achieve the desired performance. This achievement need can be inculcated through child rearing practices, thus helps in achieving excellence. Hagen concludes that withdrawal of the status recognition is the main source of personality formation. People who have lost their status from the previous group try to attain their status by concentrating on entrepreneurship. Kunkel proposed a behavior pattern modern theory and is concerned with the explicitly expressed activities of human and their relationship with the previous and present surroundings and the physical conditions. According to him, behavior pattern can be formed by the stimuli exist in the present and past working conditions, and also because of the social and economic incentives. According to the psychologist, when a society has the sufficient supply of the individuals having specified psychological characteristics, then there will be more chances of the existence of entrepreneurship. The main characteristics are an institutional ability to look at the things in new way, that is vision, energy of determination and intellect to overcome fixed behavior of thoughts, a push to do something, an urge to fulfill a dream, ability to resist social conflicts, and high need for achievement. Each of the view expressed is different and not any of the view is right or wrong. Entrepreneur can be influenced by the multiple factors and no single factor can enhance entrepreneurship. There can be a large number of social, economic and psychological factors which can influence the entrepreneur. Now, we are going to discuss about the theories of entrepreneurship. There are number of theories of entrepreneurship such as innovation theory by Schumpeter, theory of high achievement by McClelland, Leibenstein's X efficiency theory, risk bearing theory of Knight, Max Weber's theory of entrepreneurial growth, Hagen theory of entrepreneurship, Thomas Cochran's theory of cultural values, theory of change in group level pattern, economic theory of entrepreneurship, exposure theory of entrepreneurship, and political system theory of entrepreneurial growth. Theory of high achievement by McClelland. This theory is regarded as the most important psychological theory. McClelland wanted to find the internal factors that motivate people to take opportunity of the trade. According to McClelland, a person attains three types of needs as an outcome of one's life knowledge. Three needs are need for achievement, that is, a drive to excel, advance, and grow. Second, need for affiliation, that is, a drive for friendly and close interpersonal relationship. Need number three, need for power, that is, a drive to dominate or influence others and situations. According to McClelland, people who have high need for achievement have tendency to win and excel. People who have high need for achievement personally take the responsibility of solving problems and will always try to be better than others. He further explained that people with high need of achievement are more likely to succeed as entrepreneur because It is the need for achievement that motivates and promotes entrepreneurship. The definite characteristic of a high achiever can be listed as follows. They lay down moderate, realistic, and achievable goals for them. They take planned risks. They favor situations wherein they can get individual responsibility for solving problems. They need actual feedback on how well they are doing. Their need for achievement lies not only for the sake of economic rewards or social recognition, rather, personal achievement is essentially more satisfying. Leibenstein's X-efficiency theory. The thought of X-efficiency was introduced by Harvey Leibenstein in his paper Allocative Efficiency versus X-efficiency in American Economic Review 1966. This theory was recently applied to entrepreneurship and otherwise was developed for the firms in determining the degree of inefficiencies. X efficiency is the degree of inefficiency in the use of resources within the firm. It measures the extent to which the firm fails to realize its productive potential. When the input is not used efficiently, then the difference between actual output and the maximum attainable output is the X efficiency. X efficiency occurs if resources are wasted or not used at all. Therefore, Leibenstein identifies two roles for the entrepreneurs: gap filler and input completer. Thus, if not all the inputs will be used, there will be market imperfections and entrepreneurs has to fill the gap to correct the market imperfections. The other role is of input completer to make available the input required for the efficient outputs. As it is stated earlier, Leibenstein identifies two roles for the entrepreneurs. One is gap filler role of entrepreneur and the second is input completer role of entrepreneur. In gap filler role of entrepreneur fill the gap in imperfect market to put the enterprise in motion, and in input completer role of entrepreneur transforming available inputs that improves the efficiency of the existing production method. Risk-bearing theory of Knight. According to Knight, the most important feature of entrepreneurship is risk-bearing. Some important features of the theory are: risk creates profit. As entrepreneur bear risk, therefore he earns profit. More risk, more gain. Entrepreneurs face different type of risks according to their ability and interests. This theory stated that more the risk, more will be the returns. Profits as reward and cost. Profit is the reward of bearing risk. Therefore, it is also called as normal cost of production. Entrepreneurs' income is uncertain. According to Knight, uncertainty is the important element of entrepreneurship. There are two types of the risk: insurable and non-insurable. Entrepreneur earns profit because he bears non-insurable risk which is uncertain. Max Weber's theory of entrepreneurial growth. Max Weber believes that religion has a large impact on the entrepreneurial development of the country because some religion has basic faith to earn more money whereas some has less. He calls them spirit of capitalism, which can be enhanced in the country if there will be a favorable attitude toward capitalism in the country. It is the religious beliefs that develop the sense of capitalism in the individuals, which generates the feeling of occupational chase and the addition of assets. This theory states that Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam do not encourage entrepreneurship, which was criticized by various socialists. This theory was criticized by many researchers as it was based on the invalid assumptions like there is a single system of Hindu value. The Indian people learn those values and translate them to their everyday behavior, and these values remained resistant to and protected against external pressure and change. Now, we will discuss these theories one by one. Firstly, innovation theory by Schumpeter. According to him, innovation is the key factor of entrepreneurship in addition to risk and organizing function. He defines entrepreneurship as a creative activity, and this creation may be in the form of introduction of new product with which customer is not familiar, or introduction of new quality of the existing product, use of new methods of production which is not yet tested, opening of new market in which particular manufacturer of the country has not yet entered, conquest of new source of supplying raw material, and new form of organization. According to Schumpeter, entrepreneurship is innovation and can be in the form of any product, process, method, new market, etc. It brings new technological changes into the society. He also differentiated between the innovator and the inventor. Inventor is the one who invents some new methods, technology, processes, etc. And innovator is the one who uses these new inventions to offer new products in the market. Schumpeter is the first major theorist to place the human at the center of the process of economic development. He is very clear about the economic function of the entrepreneur. According to him, entrepreneur is the major mover in economic development with his function to innovate or bring out new combinations. The theory faces some criticisms also because this theory seems to be one-sided as it put extreme stress on entrepreneurship only and ignores the other functions of entrepreneurship. Secondly, applicability and success of this theory becomes doubtful in underdeveloped country. Thomas Cochran's theory of cultural values. According to him, entrepreneurs are not supernormal powers but are the role models of the society. The key magnitude in this theory is cultural values, role expectations, and social sanctions. Entrepreneurs' performance is influenced by three factors. One is own attitudes toward the occupation. Secondly, the role expectations held by sanctioning group. And thirdly, the operational requirements of the job. Society's value are the main determinant of the first two factors, and the change over the time in different variables like population, technology, etc. will impose change in the role expectation by generating new operational needs. Theory of change in group level pattern. The theory of change is propounded by Young. He conducted a thematical appreciation test on group of entrepreneurs. This test revealed that entrepreneurs has the ability to define the solution to the problems, awareness of the efforts required, confidence in their own ability, and ability to analyze the situation before decision making. Young's theory is a theory of change based on society's incorporation of reactive subgroups. A group becomes reactive when the following three conditions coincide. When the group has better institutional resources than the other groups of the society at the same level, when the group experiences low status respect, when deprived of access to important social networks. Economic theory of entrepreneurship. This theory was propounded by Papanek and Harris. According to them, if economic incentives are available in the country, then there will be entrepreneurship. Economists believe that entrepreneurship and economic growth exists where economic conditions are favorable to the business environment. There are large number of economic factors which help in upgrade or degrade entrepreneurship in the country. Following are the factors: the availability of bank credit, high capital formation with a good flow of saving and investments, supply for loanable funds with a lower rate of interest, increased demand for consumer goods and services, availability of productive resources, efficient economic policies like fiscal and monetary policies, communication and transportation facilities. It is further strengthened by the fact that Marwadis and Vaishyas are everywhere in the country, but only Gujarati Marwadis and Vaishyas lead the business because Gujaratis has a more favorable economic conditions. Thus, it is concluded that favorable business environment has impact on entrepreneurial growth. Exposure theory of entrepreneurship. This theory states that exposure to new ideas and opportunities leads to innovation and creativity, thus creates a new enterprise. An individual's education, cultural values, motivation, economic factors, need for achievement, religious beliefs, and risk-bearing capacity helps in exposing him/her toward the new ideas and opportunities, and thus leading to innovation and creativity. Innovation is the most important factor of entrepreneurship. Political system theory of entrepreneurial growth. This theory states that favorable political environment has an impact on the entrepreneurial growth because stable political system creates infrastructure, promotes policies, and encourage people toward entrepreneurship. Commitment in the political system creates a favorable business environment and enhances creative and entrepreneurial ability which leads to the entrepreneurial growth in the country. Now, Hagen's theory of entrepreneurs. Hagen has propounded a theory of withdrawal of status respect. According to him, withdrawal of status respect leads to the entrepreneurship. It occurs when the members in the group perceive that their efforts and purposes in the life are not valued by the other members. He proposed 4 events which can lead to status withdrawal. One is displacement of a conventional best group from its earlier status by another conventional supply physical force. Secondly, defamation of valued symbol through some change in the attitude of the superior group. Thirdly, inconsistency of status symbol with the changing distribution of economic power. Fourthly, acceptance of expected status on migration to a new society. He further stated that withdrawal of a status respect would give rise to 4 types of entrepreneurs. First one is innovators. An entrepreneur who is innovative and try to attain his objectives set by himself. Retreatist, entrepreneur who keeps on working in society but remains apathic to his work or status. Third, ritualist, one who works as per the rules of the society but has no hope in the improvement of his status. Fourth one is reformist, one who is a revolting and try to carry new ways of working and develop new society. Hagen developed this theory from the case of samurai community of Japan who was deprived of the high status they are enjoying and thus give rise to many entrepreneurs as they want to gain their lost prestige. Let us summarize what we have learned in this module. Many theorists have propounded large number of theories over the period of time, but every theorist has a different view which explains the concept of entrepreneurship according to their own perception. These various approaches of entrepreneurship makes the concept unclear because different views of economist, socialist and psychologist view. So, there is a need of a summarized and comprehensive theory which covers all the aspects of entrepreneurship. Thank you.